own iApps applications, and basically we're still working out the details. But really, it will be able to runners will be able to track maybe up as many as 30 other runners. So if you're in a charity group, say with Wounded Warrior or leukemia, you can have 30 of your runners being tracked at the same time. It will be able to, a loved one could send a message, so you're out there running with your iPhone, listen to your music, and all of a sudden a message will kick in and say, keep running, honey, or something like that. There's maybe the ability to be able to do some tracking. So where before with, and we're using the B tag technology. Runners would be tracked maybe every 5K, and you would, the old tracking system, and you would say, okay, I know he runs a 6-minute mile, and it's going to take him another 18 minutes before he gets to the next split.
Right.
Now with GPS, this kind of will allow somebody to be able to say, you know what, I know exactly where he is. He's at 14th Street on the Mall, and if they're trying to get there to cheer him on, you're going to be able to track the runner down, with using the GPS.
That's the first I've ever heard of. That's incredible.
We're pretty excited with this this stuff that we've been working on.
You guys have you've been really innovative and always seem to be bringing something new. The 10K was new a few years ago, and that's the same day as the race. And you got how many people signed up for that?
We just closed out the registration today at 10,000. So that's last year we had 8,000. We thought by adding a couple thousand more runners, we would have satisfied the demand. And we got 30 more days, and these are probably the hard days, because over the next 30 days, it's amazing how many friends that I didn't know I had, and it's tough to say no. I mean, you want to put everybody into the race, but we had to stop at this year at 10,000, and so that's when that finishes, that's really 10,000 instant not volunteers, but spectators that are cheering for the marathon runner. So now, when the marathon runner in years past would come across a finish line, the Marines are there, but now there's 10,000 fellow runners, inspiring to this maybe someday be a marathon runner. And that's I'd like to maybe two things we're doing that's kind of interesting. Again, you talked about the new stuff that innovation that we do.
Absolutely.
One is that we decided to do like a speed dating, or not like speed dating, speed networking. So for first timers on Friday night at 8 o'clock at the Hyatt, you will come into this room. We'll have a little music, a little food, drink. We'll have an expert bar with some questions. But one of the things is that we'll have a sign. It'll say 4 hours. And we're going to make the announcement. If you're planning on running 4 hours, go to the 4-hour table, and you'll meet somebody who you might meet on race day.
Right.
Then there might be, if you're from South Dakota, we're going to flip these little cards. Go to the South Dakota, and now you're meeting somebody from your same state, and we're just going to have a lot of fun with this. And we had to close it out. It sold out because we said you can only have 800, and you can bring a guest. So we got 1,500 people coming to this ballroom
Friday night,
and we probably turned away a couple thousand because we didn't realize how great that was going to be.
Sign up quick next year.
And then probably one other one, again, kind of my history and tradition. We have these running club that if you run 5 Marine Corps, we treat you a little special and we put you in a running club. And what I did this year was reach out to the running club and said, inspire a miler. Come out on Saturday morning, help us with the Healthy Kids Fun Run, and run with the race director for 1.5 miles, and we're going to go run. And we got about 800 running club members that are going to join me that morning, and we're going to run before the kids race, and then we're going to come back, and we're basically asking them to go around and just interact with the 3,000 kids, and hopefully we're going to get some of these kids excited about our sport, about track and field, and then hopefully 10 years from now, 15 years from now, there'll be future marathon runners.
That's great. Well, tell me what Rick Nealis is doing the day of the race. Let's put ourselves in the Rick Nealis race director chair at 8. It starts at 8:30 on October.
So I wish 8:30. No, you're so kind. I am a creature of habit. So for 17 years, it's almost clockwork exactly what I do. So one of the first things we do is we have reveille at at 03. And at 03:30, the staff leaves race headquarters, because at 04 we do a complete lockdown of the race site. So it takes us about an hour and 15 minutes to completely sanitize the start line area to make sure it's safe. Our nation's still at war, and we realize that there are people that that might want to harm, and so we take it seriously what we do. So we go through that. We open up the gates at 05. We do the screening points. We start letting our runners come in. I go down to the memorial service that for those who would like to partake into a service that morning. We do that in the North Pentagon parking lot.
Wow.
I make my way back. This year, Comcast is going live for 90 minutes. So that starts at 7. I'm from Philadelphia. Again, traditions.
Right.
Every 5 years, I like to bring a Mummers string band down to Washington, D.C. So this year, Broomall, which is one of my favorite, is coming down to perform at the start line. We got first time ever. We're going to have. It looks like we're going to have a fixed wing and a helo flyover.
Wow.
We're doing the flame. The flame of the Greek flame will be there. We're doing international flags. Never done it before. It's going to be quite a ceremony. So every country that's represented will have their flag. So right now there's 54 flags along with the Armed Forces flag. So there's about a total of 61 flags. There'll be a little flag ceremony. The flags will go up and line Marshall Drive for the first time. So not only when you finish with the Marines, all these flags will be staged. So it's kind of neat. And then that takes about a half hour. There's 30 minutes. We went into a new start line. We're calling it the H system. But what's happened is that it really gets, I have about a 20-second window to be able to orchestrate what's happening with the 10K, because we're using the same course, and the fact that we use the hand cycles and the wheelchairs.
Right.
And what will happen in this H configuration will allow the 10K to come through. It takes us about up to 8:30. So, and then immediately you go to the finish line, because you got to hold the finish line banner for the first 10K finisher.
Right.
So it's and it just goes on and on, and we finally have at 18:30. 6:30 p.m. at the race headquarters, we finally say, let's catch our breath and have a good staff dinner. So it's a long day.
Right. Is there a command center that you're in, or
there is a command center? I pretty much stay out of the command center these days.
Okay.
It is absolutely incredible. We have flare, and flare comes in, and from that command center, we almost can see the entire course on cameras. So nowadays we can immediately zoom in every police officer that owns jurisdiction of the course, and there's 6 different jurisdictions, has a rep there, and immediately we can make a decision what's happening. So it's, but one of the things we are doing at the finish line with the Greeks is that they're flying over the Laurel Reef that normally is only used at Athens and Boston, and our winners will get the Laurel Reef. It's actually made from the leaves from in Marathon off of at the tomb. And then they bronze it, and then so it's kind of special.
Truly Athens, Darlington.
Yes,
I like it, man. That's awesome.
It's going to be the Greek theme is alive and well at Marine Corps this year.
That's great.
Now, has this year's race attracted any elite athletes or celebrities or anything that you know of this year at all?
We. Probably no.
Probably no.
At this stage, we have our returning champion, so that's always special. A lot of times we don't get returning champions.
John Menser. Yep, that's great.
And one reason is because after they win Marine Corps, they normally go somewhere where maybe they can win prize money.
Right.
Take their sponsorship packages somewhere else and run a different race.
That's right. But we actually have 5 returning champions coming back. One of the things that gets us excited is our Armed Forces competition between our services, our Air Force Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. And then on the flip side is on the international side is what we do with the Challenge Cup with the Royal Navy, Royal Marines, which is about a 33-year tradition of competition with our sister service across the pond.
Well, we have a couple minutes left here. In addition to the Marine Corps Marathon, you also have another series of events that people can sign up for, shorter distances. If a marathon's not your thing, you can do other distances and other races during the course of the year to build up to the Marine Corps Marathon. Can you take a minute or so just to tell us about this new series that the Marine Corps Marathon has?
We have, I now put on 12 events during the year.
Right.
One was not enough. I said I could do more, and I wanted more, and it was good. And what we do is we have a half marathon in Fredericksburg in May that kind of allows us to really use that as a training ground for the marathon. But the event series is, and I just putting out the new schedule for next year.
Great.
And 1775 was a very unique, again, you see I'm tying in the year of the birth of the Marine Corps.
Great.
And that was about a 11 miler in Prince William County.
You set your PR for the 1775K.
That's right. That's right. Run amok is a favorite, with us, where you can get dirty and muddy and with obstacles.
Every Marine likes that.
Every Marine likes that. Yeah. And so the event series really allows us to do some fun things. One is we put a concert on. We're bringing back Run Stock in next August. It will be one of our races. The younger ladies didn't know what Woodstock was, so when I told them Run Stock, I had to explain a whole nother pop culture icon, but that's a fun one, and again, it's just we're looking at fun events that keeps runners' interest peaked in what we're doing, and some of the races that we do is kind of on hard surface as well as almost like a cross country. We go into the woods and show them some of the trails at Quantico.
Well, how many staff do you have to put on these races?
I have 31 during the year.
Wow.
And then during
31
surveillance, we've given the Marines back to the Marine Corps basically to do Marine Corps things. But come race day, there's 1,600 Marines and about 400 sailors out on the course serving and
Rick, I'd like to take a moment here to thank you for coming on the show. It's been great having you. I mean, this is a fantastic race. I hope everybody gets a chance to run a Marine Corps Marathon one day. Definitely follow it. Go down and cheer your racers on, cheer them on in general. Rick, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
And
thank
Chris Farley.
Absolutely. Yep.
We'll definitely see you guys next time on the TV show. Got to get running, everybody. We'll see you next time. Take care.